coffee is produced in a majority of the Latin American republics. In each, the story of coffee varies. This is a story of Brazilian coffee, coffee from this southern section of Brazil. Coffee from one of Brazil's thousands of coffee plantations. Quite naturally, we start with a seed which is carefully selected and planted in beds 3 inches apart and 2 inches deep in large shaded nurseries. In about 2 months, the seeds germinate. When the seedlings reach a height of 8 inches, they are transplanted. And still later, at about 6 months, they are again transplanted. At 18 months, the small trees are put into loose baskets, and the tree, basket included, is placed in a hole about 2 feet deep. After the hole has been filled, a ditch is dug around the new coffee tree to retain the water needed by the young plant. In several months, the new coffee tree has become rugged and strong, and in 3 years, a few berries may appear. But full production is not achieved until the 5th or 6th year. The leaves of the trees are always green, slightly waxy, and from 4 to 5 inches long. As the plantation develops, careful cultivation is essential. In time also, fertilizer must be added to replenish the soil. When the coffee trees are in bloom, the white flowers turn the plantation into a sea of white. Soon the coffee berries appear, first green, then yellow, then red, somewhat resembling cherries. In stripping a tree of its ripe red berries, a piece of canvas is placed on the ground to catch the berries as they fall. Each tree bears approximately 2 pounds of coffee annually and will produce full crops from its 5th to its 20th year. When several workers unite in stripping a tree, leaves and branches may drop with the berries on the canvas. However, when this is picked up, most of the leaves can be removed by hand. The rest are eliminated by a quick toss of the large sieve. Finally, the picker has only the clean berries left. During the day, hundreds of bags are filled with coffee berries. Good pickers average 200 to 500 pounds of coffee a day. Wagons carry the bags of freshly picked coffee to large storage tanks near the plantation headquarters. Bag after bag is dumped into a huge concrete tank which is filled with water. Upon entering the washing tanks, the coffee berries are kept in motion by long poles. This agitation prevents the berries from being affected by the hot sun, especially if exposed for any length of time. After the berries have been allowed to soak for a sufficient period, they are sluiced through concrete canals. Clear, cold water carries the berries along until they reach the rotary washers. Here, they undergo a vigorous washing process which removes grit and other foreign substances from the outer covering of the coffee beans. Continuing through other canals, the berries are sluiced to waiting buckets. Within a few seconds, the cart is filled and ready to be wheeled away, the excess water draining from holes in the bottom. The washed berries are now ready for drying on a concrete platform as large as a football field. The drying process requires about 3 weeks if the weather is good, but during this period, the coffee must be turned at regular intervals so that drying is uniform. To protect the coffee from dampness and possible rain, it is raked into piles at the end of each day and covered with canvas. Once this tedious drying process has been completed, the coffee bean is ready to be separated from its outer protective covering. Many plantations in Brazil maintain their own hulling and processing plants. Hulling machines remove the outer covering which has been around the beans up to this time. As soon as the coffee beans are hulled, they are graded by size in automatic sizing machines. The shaking action causes the beans of different sizes to drop into their proper compartments. Although the sizing is completely automatic and extremely accurate, sharp eyes and skillful fingers make a rapid checkup inspection. When the graded coffee is bagged, it tips the scales at 130 pounds and is ready to be sent to the plantation warehouse for storage until ordered for shipment. On receipt of shipping orders, the coffee is transported by truck to the nearby railroad, which takes it from the plantation to Santos. Santos is the modern coffee shipping port of Brazil. The Santos Coffee Exchange is the heart of the business life of the greatest coffee exporting city in the world. Exports amount to more than 1.5 billion pounds of coffee every year. It is no wonder that the streets of Santos are crowded with coffee brokers who sell their coffee on the streets or in the offices of the many exporters. Every sale to an exporter is represented by a sample. As soon as a sample of coffee is received, it is carried to the grading department where experts examine the green coffee by its fragrance as well as by its appearance. These rigid tests, as well as others, guarantee the quality of the coffee beans. Usually, only a few imperfections are found in the samples. Pouring the green coffee beans into a sieve is the method used for determining the size of the beans. The final test is to roast a small sample, make a cup of coffee, and have an expert taste it to determine its flavor characteristics exactly. During these tests, the big sacks of coffee have been waiting in huge warehouses in Santos. But now that all the tests are passed, the coffee is ready for export to the markets of the whole world, and especially to the United States. As soon as the coffee is loaded into trucks and moved through the streets of Santos, the story of Brazilian coffee is almost at an end. Now, it is only a matter of filling the holds of swift ocean-going vessels and carrying the coffee to the United States, where eventually it will find its way into millions of American homes.
Além.